I remember a friend of mine. He had never tasted. He never really drank alcohol. I would not say he never tasted alcohol. He never really drank it. And we had gone to like a college party, like a frat party, and it was like a whole table of, I'd say, a pretty fair assortment of drinks. And he immediately goes for the plastic aristocrat vodka bottle, and and he pours it into like a solo cup, and he drinks it. He's just like, that's pretty good. I'm like, dude, you picked like the fucking trash, like rubbing alcohol
Why did he
bullshit.
pick that one? Did he just say like, "Oh,
And
aristocrat"? That sounds.
he
Wait, I
was
just said aristocrat. Aristocrat,
classy.
not the Disney movie. Aristocrat. Yeah,
Those cats were classy.
classy
though.
name, but a plastic bottle automatically is like, oh, that's some shit. That's some dog shit.
Wicked smart, wicked cool, wicked fucking stupid, whatever the fuck. Something wicked.
I'm baking like a Georgia teaser. It's so hot here.
My boy's wicked smart.
Cause the boy is hotter than hot. He's hot, hot, hot!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of Wicked Hot. Kevin and John just over here drinking blowjobs. But no, guys, yeah. So welcome back. This week, Kevin, do we? Oh yeah, we didn't post something on Instagram because
We
there was
did
no
not
time.
because we're doing
Yeah,
it so
so-
early.
Yeah, guys, we are recording on the eve of the 4th of July.
AKA
and
the
we
3rd
were-
of July.
Exactly. And last week we did our 4th of July episode. So this week we're kind of like catching up and getting ahead. And I guess if we would have posted a picture, it would have been that of. I'm going to go with Keanu Reeves on this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something.
Because he's like the best shitty actor. Except I don't really think he's shitty anymore. I mean, I know we had like a Keanu Reeves sesh 2 episodes ago,
Yeah.
but
I think Hardball was the turning point for Keanu Reeves.
yes. So this week, guys, we are doing good actors in bad roles, and I guess bad movies, and then bad actors in good roles or good movies. And I guess before before we even begin this, it's funny because I thought of this last minute after I already picked my people and did my research. I had to give an honorable mention to Robert De Niro, who I think may possibly have the worst fall from grace and the worst performance in movie. And I don't know if you remember this, but he was fearless leader in Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Really?
Yes. And
Damn.
I implore every one of you to look up that, and it's honestly like, it almost seems like it's like an SNL skit for like, he's on SNL because a better movie is coming out in theaters and he's doing that.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
Was that the recent one? The one that's like partially
I don't know.
CGI, partially real?
It was like early 2000s.
I think they'd made another one after that.
Oh God, that sucks.
Yeah, 2000. Oh my God. I just saw the picture of him. Oh, wow.
He also basically ruins his iconic line of "You talking to me." They do that exact thing in the movie.
You know
He's
who
like,
he
"Aren't
looks
you
like?
talking to me?"
He looks like the...
An asshole.
No, he looks like the bad guy from Sonic the Hedgehog got a like gastric bypass surgery.
But the Eggman, what is his name? Eggman? Egghead?
something like that. With the
Someone
mustache,
eggs.
the long mustache. Yeah.
Yes, he does look like that. Yeah, it's it's embarrassing, honestly. Like I don't even ever want to look at it. But anyway, guys, so yeah, this week, good actors, bad roles, bad actors, good roles. Let's just get right into it in 3, 2, 1. All right, so I'll just say this is someone that I never knew had the acting chops, because for the most part, she kind of always did the same roles. And this is Blake Lively in The Town.
Ooh.
And if people don't remember Blake Lively's character in The Town, Which, I mean, I know it's hard because, I mean, there's a lot of other amazing performances. I mean, Ben Affleck's in it, John Hamm. What's that other guy?
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner's in it.
Isn't Casey Affleck in it too?
No, Casey Affleck is not in it, and Rebecca Hall is in it. That British chick.
Oh yes,
know.
the British chick.
Yeah. So yeah, Blake Lively. She's not a main character. She's Ben Affleck's baby mama, who's also a addict, and
A junkie.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yes. But in any case, so like, if you've never seen the movie, it's about bank robbers in Boston or in Charlestown, and basically things kind of progress, and John Hamm finds Blake Lively's character.
He's like an
and
FBI
that-
agent, right?
He's an FBI agent, yeah. And the Blake Lively's interaction with John Hamm is so good. Like, there's two specific scenes. It's one in the hospital, where they kind of have like where she's basically like telling him like, "You're a cop, like fucking figure it out," or something like that.
Yeah.
And but the bar, it's crazy because like she plays off like wicked cocky, and like she knows that he's an FBI agent. He knows that she knows, and then he reveals that he knows about her drug use, and she immediately takes like a crazy shift. Like, just her physical acting, I was like, damn, like where is that? Like, why don't you do more things like that? Because clearly she can do it. And then fuck, like there's also a scene between her and Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck's going away. He's got to leave town, and and he's leaving with Rebecca Hall, and Blake Lively is like, I want to go with you. I want to go with you. And he's like, "You're not coming. I'm going with someone else." And
He's like, "This is gonna be really awkward for my new girlfriend who I'm going with."
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, where the fuck is she? You know,
'Cause
where's
I'm
this
gonna
other
kill her."
person?" But like, she was like crying. It was legit. It was really good.
It
Like,
was
she,
good.
She kind of was stealing, especially in that scene. She definitely stole that scene with Ben Affleck. I was like, God damn. And like, considering how, like, I mean, I just named off the cast, and like, these are like higher level, you know, actors like Ben Affleck, John Hamm, Jeremy Renner, Rebecca Hall. To get like Blake Lively, and I know, no offense to Blake Lively, but I just would never picture her being in a crime thriller.
Yeah.
And I just know her from Gossip Girl, which I've never seen, but I know you're a fan of that, right?
I've seen every episode of Gossip Girl.
You're a fan, right?
I'm a fan, yeah. But
Okay.
I will say, like, her in the show, not great acting. It's
Okay.
like the supporting cast that really that carries the show. And I watched Gossip Girl after I watched The Town, so I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be amazing because she's actually really good in the movie.
Well, I know you weren't a fan of the Shark movie with her.
Yeah, The Shallows, not good, but I think that was a product of a horrible concept and script and movie and direction.
Okay, fair enough. Because I'm thinking of that Oliver Stone movie, Savages. She was in, and I wasn't a fan of her in that movie. But I also wasn't a fan of a lot of that movie, except for maybe like Aaron Taylor Johnson, and interestingly enough, Taylor Kitsch was pretty decent in it as well.
I actually
which is
didn't think
hard
she
to
was terrible in that movie.
I didn't think. I thought she was fine. The problem is that she was in most scenes with Salma Hayek, who played so over the top.
I don't understand. I know it's a little side tangent, but I don't understand why Selma Hayek gets like dramatic roles, because she overacts every time I see her in a movie. She's overacting, like playing up the Mexican accent, like playing up like the whole caricature that she plays.
I mean, what good roles does she get? I just know like the only good role where she was good in was Frida.
I won't say that she gets good roles. I am saying that she, like, much like this podcast, she's in good movies and doesn't do well. Yet she keeps getting jobs somehow.
I think she just does well enough, and then that's
She
kind of
skates
just,
by. She's like a C
Yeah.
average student.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and but like she's with a class, you know, like A class people, class A plus students. Jesus. Yeah, but no, I mean, back to Blake Lively though. I mean, she really killed it in this movie. I personally enjoy like her portrayal of like a drug addict, and you really saw the struggle with her and like how she was like trying to do right by her daughter and not like completely betray like her own, basically, like her, like the whole community of like where she came from, what she is.
Honestly, her portrayal in the movie is amazing. Like, I look back and I see a lot of Blake Lively, especially like Gossip Girl, like a lot of Blake Lively stuff, and it's really cheesy and she's just not great in it, but you could tell like she was really giving 110% in this movie.
Yeah, no, she definitely was. Totally. So final thoughts on that. I was a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of this movie, and she ended up being really, really good in it and helped carry, her side along with everyone else in scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. She didn't really seem like a supporting actor per se. It was just like she was a legitimate part of this story. And I think Blake Lively sometimes gets lost in, I guess, her own abilities. Like maybe this is the type of role she should be in, like a supporting role. Like maybe that's what she should be in. Because like when she's a lead, like Gossip Girl and The Shallows, and even a little bit of Savages, like she's not great. Like she can't like carry a story.
Yeah, she could carry scenes, just not the story.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I also think she's a victim of typecasting as well.
Yes.
Because of Gossip Girl. So she's always going to be like, the pretty chick that kind of, I mean, in The Shallows, that's kind of how she was, right? It was like
yeah.
Although they established that she was a doctor, so she had, smarts. But like in Savages, I mean, she's a survivor, but like it just kind of showed her as like kind of an aloof chick.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she like goes like shopping or whatever, and she just like kind of isn't aware of her surroundings. She's just like an average like California white girl. That's like kind of how she, played it, and I'm sure that's kind of like the direction. I mean, it's an Oliver Stone movie, so I don't really see much substance in those movies to begin with. So
yeah, I know what you mean.
They're just pretty, and that's about it.
They're just there.
Yeah,
they're movies. So much like Blake Lively was typecast because Gossip Girl, Katie Holmes is typecast as Dawson's Creek, and
yes,
her portrayal as Rachel in Batman Begins is not good. I'll just start off by saying
really?
that. Like, I don't like her. No, I hated her portrayal.
So you're Maggie Gyllenhaal all the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I wish they could have gone back and been like, all right, let's reshoot her scenes with Maggie Gyllenhaal, because she's trash, and I'll explain why. Yes, the thing that sold me, like, I didn't like her performance throughout the entire movie, but the subway scene. So when she gets off the subway and she's being trailed by one of the henchmen of the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
It's one of like the most fake feelings. Like, I don't know. It just, the way that she acted was just like very fake. It was like she was trying to act scared, and it didn't, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. Like, what are your thoughts on that scene specifically? Because like, it did not work for me. I didn't believe it.
I didn't mind it, honestly.
Really? Am I the only one that thinks she's really bad in the movie?
I actually like her in the movie.
What are you what would you say, Katie Holmes or Maggie Gyllenhaal?
The only problem is that I've seen The Dark Knight way more, so I always think of Rachel as Maggie Gyllenhaal. But I'll tell you one thing. When Batman Begins and then I went to see The Dark Knight, I was like, who the fuck is this?
You didn't even know it was Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Oh, it bothered me for a little bit. No. I knew it was Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
I'm saying like, oh, she's supposed to be Rachel? What the fuck? Because, back in the day, like 2009, people weren't like scouring the internet for fucking
True.
like, oh, who's what, who's his. I didn't like read.
I miss
the
those days.
I
when
didn't
would
read
go-
the Dark Knight playbill beforehand before the show.
Yeah, you know everything's gonna happen. I miss those days where you go to a movie and you don't know like who's playing what, who's doing what.
Stressful as fuck. I tell you one thing, my greatest memory is going in to see Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, because I had no idea what the fuck was happening. All I know is I had one trailer and that was it.
Damn, I can't even say that I remember a movie where I went into it blind. I don't remember a movie like that.
Oh, I'm sure The Dark Knight.
No, because I knew a lot about that movie before I watched it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I
guess that's
saw it
closer.
so much later than everyone
I mean,
else.
we're making it seem like it's early 2000s. I mean, it's like on the cusp of the decade we're in.
Yeah, so Batman Begins was 2005. Dark Knight was 9, right? 8 or 9?
9, I think.
Okay, so...
But yeah, so I mean, I was a fan of Katie Holmes.
Damn, maybe I'm in the minority because I thought Maggie Gyllenhaal's character was so much different. Like, Maggie Gyllenhaal's character was like a motherly...
Right, that's why I was confused.
Yeah, it was definitely a different type of character playing the
Yes.
same person. So that was
Yes.
kind of weird. But I liked
Yeah.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's version way better because it's like, first of all, more believable. Second, it was better acted. Third, it was just like, I don't know, the drama followed Maggie Gyllenhaal a lot better, whereas Katie Holmes seemed like she was forced into it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Batman Begins in so long, which is I need to do. But I will say, like, from brief memory, like Katie Holmes, I know she's in it, but it's more of like, oh, I really forget what her significance is. Really, I just know that when she's showing Bruce around, and it's kind of like, oh, look, this is what's happening. Whereas Maggie Gyllenhaal, but I also watched The Dark Knight more, so it's probably just because I watched The Dark Knight more.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure it's probably better. I mean, Maggie Gyllenhaal, yeah, damn it. Maggie Gyllenhaal is, I think, a higher caliber.
Definitely. And I'm actually thinking back to in Batman Begins when Katie Holmes like gives the arrowhead back to Bruce after his mansion burns down, and he super sad, and she's like, "No, this is your mask," and she just like face waterfalls him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a deal breaker for me because she just
Face
like
waterfalls. God damn.
she just like gently caresses his face. She's like, "No, this is your mask." And at that point, I was like, "God damn! I hope she dies in the next movie." Luckily, she wasn't in the next movie, so
And she died. So
she died. I got my wish for both. Of
for
those.
both, yeah, both. That definitely covered it. Yeah, I don't know. That's some hate for Katie Holmes. I mean, I get the face waterfall thing, but
Have you seen Katie Holmes in anything that you were like, "Damn, she's really good"? Like that's a really good acting job.
no. But I don't really see many of Katie Holmes' things. I didn't even know what Dawson's Creek was.
I never watched Dawson's Creek. I haven't seen one episode of Dawson's Creek.
Who else is in Dawson's Creek?
James Vanderbeek.
Definitely not who I was thinking of. So never mind.
He's the main guy.
Okay. He's Dawson.
He's Dawson,
Okay.
and the
well,
creek is named after him. I think. I don't know. I've never seen the show, so I don't know.
No, like I said, I mean, she was good in Batman Begins, but then Maggie Gyllenhaal came in, and I was just like, okay. I'm okay now with it. Yeah, so Katie Holmes was married to a crazy guy. My next guy is a complete crazy human being.
Yes.
And that is Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. So the funny thing about this, and by the way, I'm saying that he was good-ish. I'm honestly like, I'm not sure. Like this is one that I'm like, and the reason I'm saying this is because this role for him, like he won an Oscar for it for Best Actor in 1996.
It's hard to believe that Nick Cage won an Oscar at all.
I agree. But yeah, he played character's name is Ben Sanderson in Leaving Las Vegas. And again, like critically, it was considered good. But yeah, like the synopsis is basically he goes to Las Vegas and he is drinking himself to death. And like in the beginning of the movie, he's just in a liquor store being like crazy Nick Cage
Yeah.
and just throwing in a bunch of different like he's buying for a party, but he's drinking it all himself. So he ends up like finding like a prostitute or whatever, and then like I think he falls in love with the prostitute, which is Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
And
I had a huge crush on Elizabeth Shue.
I was really pissed when Elizabeth Shue replaced the actual way hotter chick in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah. No, I'm thinking Hollow Man, Elizabeth Shue.
Ooh, Hollow Man, Elizabeth Shue. Yeah, God,
Yeah.
that movie's terrible. Fuck that movie. Josh Brolin is in it too, and Kevin Bacon.
Josh Brolin's? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the guy who's like with Elizabeth Shue.
Oh shit, okay.
He's the guy that Kevin Bacon's jealous of.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we went on a huge tangent there. If you've never seen Hollow Man, don't. It's terrible.
It is.
Yeah, so he falls in love with Elizabeth Shue as a prostitute, and she's basically like keeping him alive and making sure that he doesn't fucking kill himself. And there's like a lot of really like fucked up, like kind of like depressing as shit, sad scenes. Like when he's gambling, like the night starts off good. He's with Elizabeth Shue, they're having a good time, and then he starts getting more drunk and more drunk and more drunk. And then he just loses his shit. And he like starts flipping over fucking tables. He starts getting the shit beat out of him by the fucking like guards at the casino. It's
Yeah.
like,
I remember that.
it's like not a good thing. And honestly, I think the only reason he won for this movie, again, he was just critically like considered good. And I think it's just honestly because he plays crazy where it makes sense. And
yeah.
it's kind of like it like I said, it's just scary the way he plays a crazy person, because it's honestly seems like he's literally insane, and of someone who is severely alcoholic and is a danger to themselves, where it's not like funny or fun or interesting. It's just, it's so real, and it doesn't seem like a caricature of someone being drunk, which is most of his roles. Most of his roles
Yeah.
are a caricature of crazy. This is like,
Yeah.
he was legitimately, there was something mentally wrong with this guy. And honestly, like, I'm not a big fan of this movie. I've tried to watch it.
I'm not either. Yeah.
It's depressing
get
as
it.
shit. And in ways, I feel like it's kind of like Nick Cage's life, and that just makes me sorry for him. Like, if I'm being 100% honest, I'd rather see him be fucking stupid and saying dumb shit and being in movies with Sean Connery than I would be to seeing him like drink himself to death. And there's like no shining light to this movie, not one.
Yeah, I would agree.
But again, I mean, the guy plays it well. So like, just seeing on how he plays the main character, he does it really well. He plays like a crazy guy really well. So
Yeah, it's
But
kind of funny, like when he's trying to be serious. Like, you know, I'm thinking like National Treasure, Nicolas Cage. Like it's
a
not,
joke.
It's not good. And
yeah,
then
it's always a joke.
Yeah, and then when he's like legitimately, that's why I think like Nicolas Cage is like in a league of his own. Like he,
Oh, 100%. He's like transcended B actor.
yeah, exactly. Like he should be making like straight to VHS movies, but he's making movies like fucking.
Well, he does. I mean, he's now in the modern day
That's
straight
true.
to
That's true.
straight to Netflix movies.
That is true. But yeah, like his, I just can't believe that he won an Oscar, because like when I think of Nicolas Cage, I think of Face Off.
Yep.
I think of
Con Air.
Yeah, Con Air, which I mean, Con Air is like a guilty pleasure for me, anyways. But that's neither here nor there. Like I'll watch it whenever it's on. But then you also have like the Kick-Ass, Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, The Wicker Man. Like,
Ooh,
guy's been in some bad movies, and then just
Kick-Ass
randomly,
is not bad. You think Kick-Ass is bad?
I think he's not good in Kick-Ass.
Yeah. Okay.
Kick-Ass was a good movie. I don't think he was good in it though.
Yeah, I mean, I want to argue with that, but I didn't think he was like terrible.
No, he wasn't terrible, but he's also like he's always
A cartoon
judged.
character.
Yeah, he's always judged on being like the Nicolas Cage guy, and he was that in Kick-Ass. Like he's that in every movie except for this movie, Leaving Las Vegas, where he shows that he has some acting chops, and nobody ever gives him the chance again to go back to that place.
Right, because I think I think a lot of people were afraid on set, if I'm being honest.
Is he a method actor? Do you know? He seems like somebody that would be.
I think he was method as fuck in that movie.
Oh, yeah. That's just his life.
Going to prostitutes, falling in love with them, drinking himself to death. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, wait, I got to get back to LA and make a movie. What the fuck am I doing?
So my next one is a movie that I honestly love. It's Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Gangs of New York. Great fucking movie.
Yes. I was just texting you earlier today that I turned on the TV and that's what was on. And I was like, fuck, now I'm watching this.
Did you happen to watch any of Cameron Diaz's scenes?
I did.
Okay.
And I will say that she was kind of a honey, though, in that dancing scene.
She was.
I was feeling it. But then again, that was also like Mask era. So
yeah, that was The Mask. Oh god, that was little boy crush. Cameron Diaz in The Mask. But does she even say like more than 10 words in The Mask?
Yeah, but she plays like. I mean, I'm pretty sure that movie is not good, but I just love it. So she fits with the way the movie feels. Whereas in this, like her Irish accent, I don't know. You're not. I'm assuming you're going to get into the accent.
Yes. Let's just talk about the accent now. So obviously, my pick is Cameron Diaz in Gangs of New York. Great movie. I don't think she's good in it. And in doing research in this, like to see if anybody agreed with me, it was kind of 50-50. Like a lot of people liked her and hated the movie, and a lot of people hated her and loved the movie. So it's like you could go either way, honestly.
I mean, you can't go like I hate the movie. The movie's great.
I was actually very surprised at how many people I found hate the movie but liked her performance.
Like she was the only good part of the movie?
Yes.
No, fuck those people. That's wrong. I mean,
That is wrong.
I'll side with them if they were like, everyone was great. But if you didn't think Daniel Day-Lewis was good, fuck out of here. And honestly, like even the Leo stuff, I was like,
I could take or leave Leo stuff. Honestly, I could take or leave it.
I think he was kind of misplaced in that movie, personally.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like if they had gotten another leading man, it would not be any different.
Maybe like Ben Foster. I'm just throwing a name out there.
I'm
just throwing Ben Foster's name out there.
But Ben Foster back then wasn't really good.
God, I fucking love Ben Foster.
Yeah, but back to Cameron. We're talking about everyone but Cameron Diaz. So we're like getting off on like how.
So yeah, let's just get in. Let's get into her accent first, because that was the biggest gripe that I found online was the lack of a period specific accent. And in watching clips, like I've seen the movie multiple times, but I went back and watched some clips. I mean, I could see where the accent, like, it doesn't make sense, or it's Irish and American, but also she's first generation, so it should be legitimately an Irish accent.
Right. Yes, I will agree. I also think even Leo, like, I felt like it was kind of stuck in that same position. So that, like, both, honestly, like, both of their interactions kind of confuse me. Like, they throw me out of the movie, but I feel like she wasn't that bad, but like the accent isn't very good.
Right. I'm not saying that she's bad in the movie, but she's definitely, in my opinion, the weakest part of the movie. I mean, I could take her leave.
I'll agree with that.
I could take or leave Leo's stuff, and Daniel Day-Lewis, like, I'm taking him out of the equation.
Yeah, he makes the movie.
Yeah,
sure.
So Cameron Diaz stuff.
John C. Reilly is good in it too.
Yeah, he is. John C. Reilly needs some better dramatic roles, just like Ben Foster does.
No, yeah. She may probably be the weak, because like I can't think of any other character in the movie.
That's
was
pretty
just
much
like,
it. That's honestly pretty much it. Those 3 or 4 characters, if you can include John C. Reilly. I did a little bit of digging because I wanted to know why Cameron Diaz. Like, why is she in the movie? There's a lot of great actresses in the world at this time. Why Cameron Diaz? So I did a little bit of digging. It actually turns out that a producer said around the time the movie was coming out, because there was a lot of mixed reviews on Cameron Diaz, producer actually said she was only cast because she was a big box office draw at the time.
wow.
So, I mean, that probably stings. If I'm Cameron Diaz, I'm like, fuck.
Like the only reason Scorsese's doing that, so maybe we could get more money out of it.
Right. So that
Which
kinda
makes
came
sense
out.
because he probably thought even back then. Because remember we talked about how Scorsese thought film in like a theater was dying.
Right.
Maybe he was just like, people aren't going to the movies anymore, and this will draw them.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it was a Scorsese.
That's sad though. That's sad though.
It
That's
is
kind
sad.
of like, you know,
It's
kind
kind
of
of
like I feel bad for her too. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of like a diss, you know.
yeah, it's like, oh, the only reason you're in this movie is
Let's get the
because-
hot girl.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you can act. I just think that you bring like guys to the theater.
Which is that's kind of fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. So, I can't like name any specific scenes where I think that she's terrible because I honestly don't think that she's terrible. I honestly think that she's just miscast in the movie. I don't think she
Yeah.
belongs in it.
She doesn't have the look. I get what you mean.
Yeah,
But I also felt like, and again, not to play devil's advocate, but I also felt like that for Leo. Like I just thought Leo was very misplaced in the
I
movie.
will agree, but I think Leo is so good as an actor. He can kind of mold himself, not like Daniel Day-Lewis can, but he can kind of mold himself in any type of scene and be at least somewhat decent.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw a hot take out there. I feel like everyone's not as good in the movie is because of Daniel Day-Lewis. Just my 2 cents.
That could be why, because Daniel Day-Lewis is
He's
not the main
so-
character, and that's a problem.
Yeah, he's so like integrated in his surroundings. He's like the only one that I look at him, I'm like, that guy belongs in this scene. And everyone else, I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, but specifically, and I don't probably care about like the lesser known like extras and stuff like that, is because they aren't shining. They're just background noise.
Right.
And Leo, Cameron Diaz are the main stars. So when he's interacting with them, it's just like, oh, there's, you know,
Yeah.
like Leo doing like a fine job and Cameron Diaz doing a fine job.
So I guess what we're trying to say is Daniel Day-Lewis is miscast in this movie.
I think so, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like if you think about it, like honestly, going back to the Blake Lively, like Blake Lively should be a supporting actress or supporting actor. Like that's where she shined really well. Like Daniel Day-Lewis cannot be a supporting actor. It's not in his blood. It's not in his skill. He can't do it because
No.
he took Gangs of New York and made it his movie.
Yeah, he stole the show. He shouldn't be able to steal the show. It should already be owned.
Yeah,
He should own the show.
yeah, and it's crazy because like I like Cameron Diaz. She's Charlie's Angels is good. Like that's her.
She's
jam.
funny. Like I like her comedically.
Yes. Leo's great. It's just weird because Daniel Day-Lewis steals the show from 2 actors that I have a lot of respect for. It's like, damn, you're making Leo look like a piece of shit out there.
He really, honestly, he really does. He really does. So that's kind of it's sad, but yeah. I mean, Cameron Diaz. Yeah, I will admit, just like kind of misplaced, but at the same time, maybe she's not, and it's just Daniel Day-Lewis that's misplaced.
I think that's what it is. Daniel Day-Lewis is the problem with Gangs of New York.
Who would ever say that?
I know. That's a fucking hot take.
All right. Well, another person that I think that's I will put almost if it weren't for this movie on par with Leonardo DiCaprio and Daniel Day-Lewis, because honestly, there's no one to really compare.
Nobody's in that
Day-Lewis to.
ballpark. Nobody's even playing that same sport.
Yeah. Well, because Daniel Day-Lewis went to the future and invented that sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if no one knows about this movie, and the movie is Death to Smoochie.
Fucking
My
A.
actor is Ed Norton.
Oh god.
It's literally like one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Is that a Kevin Smith movie?
Yeah, movie came out in 2002. Not directed by Kevin Smith, directed by Danny DeVito. The sad thing about this movie is that the synopsis and the cast would make you think that it'd be like kind of like one of those weird comedies that people would like, you know?
Yeah.
And like aside from Ed Norton, it starred Robin Williams, Danny DeVito, and Catherine Keener. Which, if people don't know her by name, she's in Being John Malkovich. She's in 40-Year-Old Virgin, the one that's probably the one that most people know her from, which is the girl who had like the eBay, not on eBay store that dates Steve Carell's character.
Yes.
So basically, the movie goes that Ed Norton, he plays a child TV show host who dresses up as like a Purple Reiner. Reiner. I saw like Medea right there.
Purple
How
Reiner.
you doing? Purple Reiner. But yeah, so he dresses. God damn it. He dresses as a purple rhino, kind of like Barney, and he replaces a disgraced show host, which is played by Robin Williams. He's like a clown or something.
Okay.
The problem with this is that Ed Norton fucking is terrible in this movie. He just plays. I personally think he phones it in and just does like a dopey guy who's like has the heart of an angel, is super like just aloof about the world, and he kind of subverts Robin Williams's attempts to fuck with him in like a like oops, I didn't know, like innocent way, like oh, it just happened to be circumstance that all of these terrible things that he's setting up for me, I kind of just get away with no explanation. The whole movie is really fucking bad, and it seems like everyone just kind of hates doing it. And personally, I feel embarrassed watching him act as a kids show host. You know, like the cringy feeling
Yes.
you get when you're embarrassed for someone.
Yes.
Like there's this like scene where he's just like really playing it up, kind of like Barney, and like flailing his arms and like singing, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like what are you doing right now?
You're just like, Ed Norton, no.
Yeah, and it really makes me sad that this is a Danny DeVito movie because I really like Danny DeVito, and
Until you told me that he was the director, I forgot that he was a director.
Yeah.
In general. Like I knew he did Matilda, and that kind of brought back memories, but Danny DeVito, come on.
Yeah. I will say there's only one scene that actually makes me laugh. And Robin Williams, who's disguised as like an agent for someone, he ends up bringing Ed Norton to a Nazi party rally. And so he has no idea, and he gets up on stage and he's got like a spotlight on him so he can't see the crowd. And he's like, hey kids. And he starts singing like children's songs with like a guitar, and he can't see anything. He's like, oh, can we bring the house lights up? And the house lights come on, and it's literally nothing but like Nazis, and it's like Heil Smoochie or whatever. And then like the cops raid it. That actually made me laugh. I thought that was funny.
I do remember that scene. I saw the movie when I was very young. So I do remember that scene. I remember that being
young?
funny.
It was 2002. It wasn't that old.
Well, that was 15 years ago. 16 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was half my age ago.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but you're making it sound like you were like 8.
well, no, I was in high school.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I was into that like stupid humor stuff, and I could not get into this movie at all. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And
so
I really tried to get into it because I loved Edward Norton, and I obviously love Robin Williams. So I tried to watch this movie so many times, and I never finished it. And this scene was always something that I tried to like put in my mind to be like, oh, it can be funny. It's got the stuff.
Yeah.
But every time I tried, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
Yeah, it's so cringe. It's seriously so cringe. And it honestly gives off a like kind of like a money grab situation. Because it's just like considering Ed Norton like he did the score, he did Fight Club, he did Primal Fear and American History X all before this movie. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how many bills did you need to pay? And I doubt this movie was big budget where it's like, oh, I'm just taking this for a paycheck, you know? This seems like a low budget like comedy.
I'm willing to bet, and I know because Ed Norton is an asshole, so I don't think that he took any less than what his quote was. I'm willing to bet that he got paid more for this movie than he got paid for Primal Fear, American History X, and anything before this.
Really?
I'm willing to bet, yeah.
So he still got paid. It's not like it mattered.
Oh, yeah, he got paid, so he doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, so maybe it was a money grab. Who knows? But at the same time, it just makes me sad because someone that, like, I think is as selective as Ed Norton, like we've discussed this in previous episodes. I mean, with the whole Incredible Hulk thing, that he chose to have this stain on his filmography for like all time. It's literally like the skid mark on the underwear of Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
It really is. So mine is a movie that I saw before it ever had an ending. Because because M. Night Shyamalan was so scared to release this movie that he released it to a bunch of focus groups, and I just happened to be one of those. And
What? Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, so I went with a friend who was invited to see the movie Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we sat in a theater and watched the movie, and none of the effects were done. It was all just
What?
people standing in front of green screens and stuff.
Holy shit.
And then we got a questionnaire afterwards, and it was like, how do you like the ending of the movie? How do you like this? How do you like that? And apparently it did not test well with us because they completely changed the ending of the movie. And I still have yet to see the actual ending that's in the movie.
So what was the ending that happened when you went? First of all, so how did this happen? You just got, like, they just called you?
Yeah, so I haven't been called since. Well, I haven't been called in a while.
Yeah,
so-
because you ruined M. Night Shyamalan's career. You son of a
pretty
bitch.
much. So I was sitting in the theater. I was like, "Oh my god, is M. Night Shyamalan going to be here?" No, he wasn't there. So
He was like, fuck you, Kevin.
at certain theaters in Arizona, they test movies and they like invite you to be a part of it. And if you go, like, they'll keep calling you to go like see movies that aren't released yet.
Right.
And you like review them and like have comment section of like if you liked them or not, and you know, all that bullshit.
Okay.
And the last one I was called for was Noah, the Russell Crowe movie. I didn't actually go see it. I wish I would have, because
Man, you get called for some shit movies.
yeah, they only do it for really shitty movies.
Well, that's probably the ones that they're nervous about.
So I know when I get a call, I'm
For
like,
good
oh, this is
rea-
gonna be
for
a,
good fucking reason.
this is gonna be like a shit movie that I'll probably never see. So I'm talking specifically. I know we got way off track. I'm talking specifically of Dev Patel in the movie, who is
Yeah.
a great actor. He fucking
Slumdog
carries Slumdog
Millionaire.
Millionaire.
Yeah, he does.
He's so good in the movie, and it kind of, as I know I shouldn't be like offended by this, but like it's weird in the movie because every villain or bad guy in the movie is brown, which is weird because M. Night Shyamalan is brown. And I
He's
almost
self-loathing.
yeah, I almost wonder if like M. Night Shyamalan like pointed to like a fucking grip, like a white grip, and was like, "Who's a brown guy?" And the guy's like, "Oh fuck, Michael Pena, Dev Patel, I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, Dev Patel, yeah, let's throw him in the movie." So
Probably how it happened.
probably I'm
We'll have
just
to get him on. We'll have to get him on. Just tell him, hey, I'm Kevin. I ruined your career, and now you could just talk to me about it.
yeah, like I know him personally, so I can get him into the podcast.
Yes.
So Dev Patel, great actor. The movie Avatar: The Last Airbender, not good. Like I saw a very rough cut of the movie, and I could tell then that it was going to be a fucking flop. And
yeah.
it's kind of weird because Dev Patel is second billed in the movie, but he's also like probably fifth or sixth, maybe even lower than that, lead. He doesn't have very many lines. He doesn't do very much. Like the guy from The Daily Show, what's his name? Asif.
I have no
Something.
fucking idea.
Yeah, another obviously brown guy because he's a villain. he's like the more main villain, and Dev Patel has like no lines. He is kind of like off on his own.
I remember the marketing for this movie, and they marketed heavy on Dev Patel because he had literally just come off Slumdog Millionaire, I think.
I think that's why they did that. So it's kind of like, did you ever see Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
So Brad Pitt's in the movie for like
shit.
Brad Pitt's in the movie for like 15 minutes,
And he's the only
and he
one on the
dies.
poster. And he's the only one on the poster.
Yes, he's on the poster. He's in all the marketing shit. I feel like that's how it was with Dev Patel.
Yeah.
Because like
That makes sense.
Obviously, he was coming off the Oscar with Slumdog Millionaire. He couldn't save this movie because it was fucking trash. And I will say that he was very bad in the movie.
Okay.
He felt very forced, maybe overacted a little bit because it was like race wars basically. It was like the whites versus the browns,
And they're all Japanese manga.
and the Japanese, yes. Or I wouldn't say Japanese. I'd say like Mongolian.
Oh, okay. It's very specific. Okay. Like Genghis Khan.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it sucks because I know Dev Patel can act because obviously Slumdog Millionaire, and then there's what else? Best Marigold Hotel.
Yeah. The
he
other
hasn't-
one with. Wait, is that the one with Judi Dench?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Shit,
second
then
best.
I only know two fucking Slumdog. I mean, Slumdog.
He was
Two
in
fucking
Chappie.
Dev Patel.
He was in Chappie,
Oh,
which again, not great, but
no, it's not good.
No.
It's not a good movie.
he's good in it. And a show that I fucking love, like one of my top favorite shows, The Newsroom. He plays an amazing role in The Newsroom.
Yeah. That is a good show. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if it's being written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan in today's age, it's M. Night Shyamalan had a good run from like late 90s to like the beginning of like 2000.
From late 90s to the late 90s, basically.
Yeah. Basically, yes. Oh, no, Unbreakable. When did that come out? Oh, that was 2000.
Oh, and Split was all right. Split was good.
Haven't seen that yet.
Glass looks good. That's like a combo of Split and Unbreakable.
Yes.
The Happening. Fuck. I forgot that he directed The Happening.
Yeah, well, that's late. That's like mid 2000s. So that was right before Last Airbender came out. Oh, and Devil. God, that movie sucked.
After
The Elevator.
Earth?
The
Oh,
Elevator
no, After
horror
Earth.
movie. Oh,
Uh,
okay. He's done a lot of bad movies.
He has. He's done. It's really weird because he either does an amazing movie or a god awful dog shit movie.
That's very true. Very true. Well, you know, it's funny because how you were saying how Dev Patel kind of like overacted in his role.
Yeah.
My next character or actor also overacted so much. And it makes me sad to say this, but my next pick is Kate Blanchett in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh boy.
And honestly, like, I don't really know where to begin with this movie. I wanted to like it so bad, and honestly, like, I don't know. Do you remember like the marketing of it? Like, they marketed the fuck out of this thing. And when they announced Kate Blanchett as the villain, plus the promos, like they had promos of her in it, like I was 100% in. I was like, this movie's gonna be awesome.
I never thought
And-
the movie would be awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh god, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf was my only. I remember the previews being pretty good. I don't know.
I was
It-
never sold on the aspect of the
Return
movie
of
like
Harrison Ford.
25 years later. Like,
Okay,
come on.
fair enough. But like, as far as Kate Blanchett's concerned, like I'm a huge fan of her, and I'm basically like, she's one of the few actresses that I'm immediately intrigued to go see a movie with.
I feel the same way. Every time I see Kate Blanchett, that's what sold me on Ocean's 8, honestly. I was like, oh shit, Kate Blanchett, she doesn't take shit roles. Like that
Yeah.
that's probably got to be good.
Yeah, and on like from more recently, like Thor Ragnarok to Aviator, Blue Jasmine, Lord of the Rings, Benjamin Button. She's just got a lot of good movies that I personally like her in a lot, and she fucking kills it in. So
I have a hot take.
That's-
Benjamin Button fucking sucked. I hated the movie.
really,
Yeah, hated it. Couldn't
I
stand
feel like you're not the only one though. I liked
Okay.
her in it. I liked her in it.
I did like her. The movie
Yeah.
was trash though.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree, but I also can't agree with it.
Okay. That makes sense.
So
That does
yeah.
make sense.
But yeah, so in Indiana Jones 4, she plays a Russian agent called Irina Spalko. Her basic motivation is that she is after the aliens. I don't know. The movie is fucking terrible. It makes no sense. And again, this probably honestly has to do with the writing. The story is by George Lucas, so that kind of could tell you everything you need to know. The problem is that the movie, along with many other things, just did Cate Blanchett a disservice. And she was honestly our cartoon character. And not, again, to not like bring it back to what we talked about like before we started our topics, but she wasn't like Rocky and Bullwinkle bad, like Robert De Niro, but it still was unbearable. And I'm going to lean towards it was because of bad writing, but like her Russian accent sounded like Jason Alexander in Rocky and Bullwinkle, actually. So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But like it's very like cartoonish. It's just like, okay, play a stereotypical Russian bad guy in like a 1960s 70s James Bond flick, and it's just like very hokey, which, you know, I'm all for it. Like, Indiana Jones villains are
It's always
not
over the top.
serious.
It's
Yeah, they're
always
always-
over the top. My problem with Cate Blanchett in the movie,
It's over the top and bored.
it is. It's like they were in the casting and they're like, do your worst Russian accent, and that's what I want you to do in the movie.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It doesn't make sense. It's not a Russian accent that I've ever heard a Russian speak before.
Right. Because I mean, I'll even put like for the original like Raiders of the Lost Ark, all the villains in there are fucking campy as fuck, and they're so over the top. Like the German guy is like, we're not thirsty.
Yeah,
Like that guy.
that is
and-
true, but it works.
Right, because they're having fun with it. Like
Yeah.
she is just very like monotone, bored, which I guess is a Russian person. I don't know. I mean, they're very like depressing. I guess I don't know. That could be wrong, but I mean, if you think about like the French guy, like Belloc in Raiders of the Lost Ark, he's over the top, but it's funny, except for when he's trying to like rape Marion, which it wasn't really funny. But and then like Temple of Doom, like Mola Ram, which is, you know, like the leader of like the cult or whatever, like he's over the top too, but it works. And then in Last Crusade is like the colonel, the Nazi colonel guy, who's over the top and is like, this is how we say goodbye in Germany, and he punches him. Like that shit's funny and it works.
Yeah.
With her. And it's not even like just with her character. I mean, everyone seems so bored with the movie and just like hating their life at that point. But it just sucks because it's Cate Blanchett, and
Yeah.
she's probably like the best. I mean, aside from Harrison Ford, but honestly, like Harrison Ford's kind of gone downhill for a while.
Yeah, I'm actually
He
shocked
went
that
from
he
lead
took the
actor
movie.
to just he's went from lead actor to like supporting role. He's a good supporting role now.
Yeah. It's weird because I know he hated doing the sequels to Star Wars. So it's like it never seemed like he wanted to do this movie. And it
No.
kind of showed, like he kind of phoned it in the movie, and
Oh, he did totally.
it felt like, I know Shia LaBeouf is a method actor and he did what he did in the
Gosh.
movie, but Harrison Ford was bad in the movie. Cate Blanchett, two very, very good actors, made the movie almost unwatchable. Like it was a bad movie because of those two amazing actors.
I know, it's crazy because honestly, like despite all the awful elements in the movie, I thought like she would shine, and she didn't. And I mean, I don't blame her. I mean, I'm sure she probably was promised something. I mean, it's Steven fucking Spielberg,
Yeah.
and it's Indiana Jones. Like, those are household names, and then it turned out to be like such trash. Oh, and like one scene that always pops out to me is the sword fight scene between her and Shia LaBeouf. It was legitimately cringeworthy, but I mean, that entire sequence was cringeworthy. The CG in this movie is so laughable because it doesn't even seem like 3D, if that makes sense. It looks like they're playing like fucking Twister on like a CG like mat, a giant CG like Twister mat.
It's a bad movie. Honestly, I have nothing good to say about the movie.
And her
I don't.
performance in it doesn't work.
It doesn't
at
work. Shia LaBeouf. I don't hate Shia LaBeouf, but he's not good in the movie. Harrison Ford's not good, and unfortunately, Cate Blanchett, who I think is good in pretty much everything she's ever touched, is really bad in the movie.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, it's sad, but you know, it's the hard truth.
Honestly, that's like the perfect pick for this podcast.
Yeah.
So, John, I'm going to read you the cast list for this movie, and I guess we'll just go from there. So, okay, this is the cast list for the movie. It sounds like an all-star cast. So, we got Dennis Quaid, Greg Kinnear, Common, Seth MacFarlane, Hugh Jackman.
I was like, you're losing me already.
Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet, Chloe Grace Moretz, Anna Faris, Chris Pratt, Emma Stone, that Asif guy from fucking Last Airbender. He's in the same movie too.
So we know the direction this is going.
Justin Long, yeah, like actually a really good cast, and I honestly don't know how they've afforded all these people. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about one of the worst movies ever made in the history of cinema. Movie 43.
I was into the marketing of this movie. I'm like, this is gonna be funny as hell. And then I saw on like Rotten Tomatoes it was like 5%. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating, but
So the Rotten Tomatoes score is 4%.
ooh,
Yes.
I was severely over.
You were
Or rather-
overestimating, yes.
Yeah, or overestimating how terrible it was.
Also, forgot to mention these: Gerard Butler, Johnny Knoxville, also in the movie.
Well, that's again, those two. You know, it's on a path to down the drain.
So, I
Did you
saw
watch the movie? Because I never. Okay,
I did
'cause I
see
never
the
saw-
movie. I wanted to. I saw the cast and I was like, oh my god, how did they get all these people? This must be amazing. So it's a movie that is run kind of like Saturday Night Live. It's kind of like a sketch movie. So it's like a bunch of short. It's like a bunch of shorts inside of a movie that all kind of connect together.
Okay.
But at the end, they never connect the dots, which is kind of weird.
That's
So the movie is like something a 12-year-old boy would come up with. It's so over the top. The sketches are so fucking stupid. So I'll describe one sketch and you tell me if this sounds funny
Okay.
to you.
all right. Well, first, are you? So I'm assuming you're picking like everyone that's in this.
I'm picking the entire cast. The entire cast of the movie is terrible in it. The movie's terrible. And it's a bunch of great actors, so I don't understand why it's so bad. But
Okay.
let me explain the sketch.
All right, go for it.
So it's fucking A. It's Chloe Grace Moretz. She's playing a
I'm a fan of her.
13-year-old girl, and just so happens that it's the first that time of the month for her.
Oh God.
So she has a guy over,
At 13,
a little
Seems
boy.
old.
Yeah,
That
12,
seems old
13.
for-
Yeah.
Okay. I mean.
Let's not get into the scientific specifics of
Okay.
the movie.
All right. All right.
So she has a boyfriend over, a boy that is also a friend, and she's like, "Oh shit, I'm like bleeding. What's happening?" And she gets up and she's just like hiding behind. She's like hiding against a wall, so like nobody sees the stain in her pants. And she like scoots over against the wall, and there's just like a fucking smear of blood like across the entire house. And that's one of the last scenes of the movie. And I'm like, why the fuck did I just watch this entire movie? Like, it made no sense. It's not cohesive at all. Yeah. And honestly, like, the stories or the sketches, like, I get why they did the sketches. Like, they wanted to make a rated R, I guess, type of Saturday Night Live or In Living Color type thing.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking bad. Every sketch is overacted by all of the actors and very, very poorly written. There's a lot of big name directors that were involved in this. Like James Gunn directed one of the sketches.
That's which one?
He did. So there's a sketch with like a cartoon cat.
Okay.
With Elizabeth Banks, and they have this pet that's a cartoon cat, and it's like over the top. It doesn't make sense. It's really fucking stupid. It's like,
that's crazy.
Very overacted. That James Gunn did that, and Elizabeth Banks directed a scene. It's like so many good actors and so many good directors are in the movie, and it's fucking terrible. It's the worst movie I've ever seen, and I've seen The Happening.
So I have a theory on this. I'm wondering if like every year, like all the actors are like, all right, we're going to make an all-star cast to get like money raised for like children with cancer. And then we get like movie 43, you know?
I guess. Yeah. Like the Hilarity for Charity thing that Seth Rogen did on Netflix. Like I could see that type of thing.
Dennis Leary does a similar thing here in Boston with a bunch of like Boston comics, like Bill Burr and the Nick D something. He's a real fucking scumbag. I forget what his name is.
That's funny because if you were like, who's a Boston guy, I'd be like, Dennis Leary's a Boston guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the Boston guy.
Oh, he's the Boston guy for sure.
I mean, I could see that, but they didn't market it as that. They didn't market it as like a charity thing, which would have been a way better
it's like
marketing.
A secret like underground Hollywood thing that only like Hollywood people know about. It's like they don't want to like explicitly say it's for charity, which I don't know why that would be a detriment to going to see it. You know?
Yeah.
If anything, you'd get more people to go see it. Like, oh, it's for kids with cancer. All right.
Yeah, it might suck, but it's for a good cause. Like that's a good marketing tactic. Just not mentioning it is a bad move. Not mentioning that it's for charity is a bad move because it's a bad movie. Yeah,
that sucks. Because when I remember seeing commercials, like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I was sitting there wondering as the credits were rolling, and I was like, why did I waste 2 hours of my life? I was also wondering,
when's the next scene?
I was like,
the next scene has to be the one.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck did they pay all these people? Because like it's a SAG movie, they're all SAG actors. They have to get paid at least a certain amount of money, and there's a lot of like top billed actors in the movie.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they get away with like? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I want to look up what the box office was
and the budget. Does the budget include actor salaries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. So holy shit, they must have done it for free. They had to have done it for free because the budget was $6 million.
Oh my lord!
And there's like,
did they at least make that?
There's probably 20 sketches in the movie. The movie made $32 million.
Wow!
So it did make its money back, but
I was gonna say, so
honestly, if like $32 million is a very bad opening for a movie nowadays.
Yeah.
Like that's
fucking terrible.
That's like 4 or 5 in the rankings like per week. Like that type of movie.
Yeah, no, that's consistent. That's like indie movie money, maybe.
Yeah, that's like Paranormal Activity.
I think that was 32 million, even including foreign box office too.
Yeah, that's box office total, 100, like everything.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. That is so bad. Oh my god!
Imagine being like a great actor, like Like Terrence Howard. Let's say Terrence Howard.
Great actor and Terrence Howard don't really resonate with me, but
I love Terrence Howard.
I'll continue in this fantasy world of yours.
The inventor of Terrence Howard math.
The math that's named after him. That one. Yes, I remember.
You have like Iron Man and Hustle and Flow.
Innovator.
Yeah. And then you have Movie 43, which is a 4%. Like that is really weighing down your tomato meter score.
Yeah.
Imagine having that stain on your record. That's the shit stain of all of these actors' careers. It's like,
honestly,
fuck, why did I do that?
I don't know if it's worse than Death to Smoochie though.
I only think it is because there are so many, like any one of these actors could be like a first build actor in their own movie.
Right.
And there are 30 top build actors in the movie, and
wow.
all of them have this shit stain on their record.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, fuck. Well, that actually really sucks, but it does lead into my last question for you, Kevin.
Shoot.
What, and I'm not assuming you've seen these, but I guess in your opinion, which would be worse?
Okay.
Of all-star casts.
Okay.
And not all-star casts, but of our favorite kind of movies, the ones that really get people in the seats.
Okay.
Holiday movies.
Oh, shit.
And I'm not talking about Christmas movies. I'm talking about the great movie Mother's Day starring Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, my God.
Or New Year's Eve starring quite a few people. Or how could anyone forget the greatest starring Taylor Swift, Valentine's Day with Jessica Alba. Yeah, so my question is, which of these three holiday works of art would you imagine would be worse?
Okay, I've seen I haven't seen Mother's Day. I've seen Valentine's Day.
Whoa, really?
Yes. What was the other one?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Yes, I've seen that too.
What? Why?
Yes, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. New Year's Eve could be up there with Movie 43 as one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, God.
And I think also Robert De Niro is in that movie.
New Year's. Oh, my God. The worst part is that Valentine's Day came out in 2010. New Year's Eve came out in 2011. Why? Were they like, yep, 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Let's do another one.
Robert De Niro is in New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so New Year's Eve is actually the worst rated one at 7%.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, wait, did I check Mother's Day? No,
Michelle Pfeiffer is in the movie. I just found out a fun fact about Michelle Pfeiffer.
She's in
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
She's tried to quit every movie she's ever worked on, including Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh. Fuck, I did not know that.
Yeah,
actually, so I stand corrected. Mother's Day is actually a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And New Year's Eve is a 7%?
7, yep.
Okay. We're just splitting hairs there.
Yeah, we are. I will say, though, like, on the whole, New Year's Eve seemed way dumber, because Mother's Day doesn't have that many big names. I think
it's Mother's Day, Jennifer Aniston and
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts, yeah.
Yeah, so on the whole, for like all-star cast, yeah, New Year's Eve has to take the cake. Also, because who gives a fuck about a movie about New Year's Eve?
I'm looking at the cast. So there's Michelle Pfeiffer, Zac Efron, Robert De Niro, Halle Berry, Common
Anne
again,
Hathaway,
Jessica Biel, Seth Meyers.
Isn't Anne Hathaway in it? Maybe not. Josh Duhamel.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, it's not a good look. But so final pick, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, definitely.
Okay, I'm going New Year's Eve as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let us know what you think your worst all-star cast holiday movie is, which is That's like a category in itself.
Yeah.
At this point, it really is. And then also let us know what. I mean, do you think we were right? Do you think that the actors we picked are good actors that were in bad movies, or bad actors that were in good movies? Let us know. And then also, I guess, if you could please follow us and subscribe to us on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Also, in case you want to participate in any polls or guessing on the next episode, give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And Facebook. Wow. This is the first time in 20,
I remember.
26 episodes you've mentioned Facebook.
At Wicked Hot Talk. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, what have you. Let us know how we're doing. And we will see you guys. Oh, and before we close up, I guess we should announce that we're doing the.
I think we did last week, but
Did we? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
fuck
we're
it.
doing the collab. We're doing the
Friday
collab
the 13th,
podcast.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, for a special episode. So yeah, make sure to check on Friday for that episode. And I guess that's all, Kevin.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.